let's continue to work with our sales data from the first quarter of 2012. And to refresh your memory, we have line items here down of the various sales that occurred during this time period. And what I've gone ahead and done is defined two names that we're going to be working with. Toy, which is going to list all the various toy types that were sold. And then after I can spell properly, quantity, which is the quantities that were sold for these toys. Now, let's say, hypothetically, we want to start adding together all the sales, but only if they are a toy of a particular name or a toy from a order from a particular company or something of that nature. So it's calculating based on if a particular condition is met, or a conditional function is basically what we're going to be using. So let's take a look at the number of orders that were placed for animated characters. What we would do is we'll just go ahead and use the keyboard. We'll equals to indicate we're entering a function, and we will say count if. And we're going to say from the range of toys, we want to count it only if it matches what's over here in A5. So I'll click A5, it automatically adds it to my formula. I add the parentheses, hit enter. We have 7 orders. And now I can go ahead and double click on this corner to autofill that down. The formula will be replicated. And we can see that many of our items were sold 7 and 6 times, and then a whole lot of model car kits sold. Now we can do the same type of thing to calculate our volume, but in this case we want to start adding together the quantity that were sold for each toy, but only for that toy. So once again we're using a conditional. We will enter an equals, we'll say sum if, meaning sum it up if a condition is met. What are the range of things that we're going to evaluate the condition against? Once again, that's toy. And only if it matches what's over here in A5. Click on A5. And then what are we actually going to be summing? We're going to be summing the quantity. And we can see the various quantities for our toys that were sold. I'll select my range, hit Control D to fill down. And I've already gone ahead and entered the revenue calculation, which is to multiply these two together to find out how much revenue is actually generated from the sales. So you can see you don't have to base your functions and apply it across everything within a set of data. You can actually selectively extract items from that data and use only those items in your calculations by using these functions called conditional functions. And typically they're going to be named the same, and then they'll have an if at the end. So sum if, count if. What's another one? Boy, there's a variety. I can't think of another one right now, but nonetheless, they have that same convention. So let's go ahead and offer you a chance to take a look at some of this.